All right, so we just got back from Spider-Man Euro trip.
Yep, pretty much. They did not break out the Flugenklugenkleinen.
No. It's nice to be back here, by the way. Your apartment does not have good acoustics.
No, it does not.
We did Detective Pikachu at his place with a bunch more people.
Yeah.
And God, the echo was so bad.
Yeah, the echo was bad.
Yeah, we're gonna if we do it at your place again, we're gonna have to figure out something. Figure out.
If anything, we just do it in the office.
Yeah, that might be best. Although, I mean, if we have a lot of people,
might be kind of hard. If anything, we can put the camera on top of the CRT TV.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I did not expect it to be that bad, but anyway, yeah, we got out of Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Yes.
The first movie we've seen in a while too. By the way,
yeah, we've been kind of
this summer, from what I've been hearing, has not been bad, but
mediocre.
It's been very divisive.
Yeah.
Like every movie that has come out has been like has had people split.
Yeah, like Child's Play.
Yeah, Child's Play, Godzilla, and all those.
Missed out on Godzilla too.
Yeah, and in fact, I was kind of checked out of movies this summer, and I didn't even realize that this weekend was
Spider-Man.
I was like, oh, that's this weekend. We gotta go.
Yeah, I kind of mentally checked out, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh shit, yeah, that's right, that did come out, didn't it?
I think it also didn't help that Endgame was a tough act to follow.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people felt the same way. It's like, really, they're doing another movie this soon? And
yeah, well, the Marvel train's got no brakes.
No,
that's all I gotta say.
No, apparently it does not. I will say, by the way, we're gonna do spoilers for this.
Lots of spoilers
because
there's no way.
There's no way we can talk about this movie without spoiling a few things.
Yeah.
Although some people have been kind of like smart about what the spoiler was gonna be, based on who was in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me just say, well, the way I saw it was like they were either gonna subvert expectations and present what they said. But then I remembered this is Disney, and Disney lies.
Yeah.
Especially in their trailers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll see how epic that Frozen 2 movie's gonna be. Those vague-ass epic trailers that they put up. Look, he's riding with a herd of deer. They're gonna go fight the bad guy, maybe, probably.
I just can't wait for that Let It Go remix.
Oh, God. Anyway, yeah, so I was hoping it was either gonna go one or two ways. They were gonna go with subverting expectations and say what the route they seem to go would be where they go, and I feel like they could have, considering they've subverted expectations before, like with the Skrulls.
Yes.
Everyone thought the Skrulls were going to be the new big bad, but apparently not.
Yeah, from Captain Marvel, and nope.
Yeah, they really messed that up. Although we'll talk about that during the spoiler section.
Yeah.
Or they were going to go with what everybody or most people knew. Yeah, okay, I think spoilers from this point out.
Spoilers ahoy, people.
Yeah. So yeah, they were going on a first of all, they started out with like a corny, like one of those like student television network things in high school.
Oh yeah.
I hate those so much.
Oh God. I remember in high school I was part of the TV production crew, and we used to we did stuff like that all the time.
In my school we watched it was called Channel 1.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's probably not around anymore, but yeah, I hated it every time.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. We were in charge of morning announcements.
They had a tribute to the Avengers after Endgame, and all the ones that weren't around anymore. And I do like that they acknowledged the whole snap thing about how 5 years had passed.
It's the blip.
The blip.
They call it the blip.
The blip is when the event that brought people back. So they actually acknowledged, that time had passed and a lot of things were different and people were having a hard time.
Yeah. And like Aunt May also got Thanos snapped.
Yeah. I remember there was an article listing everyone that Ned was one of them.
Yeah, I knew Ned was one of them too.
I figured
I didn't realize May was one of them.
I figured that they had to be a lot of key players so that we can't have Ned 5 years older than Peter.
Well, yeah.
So obviously he had to he had to be. But yeah, I kind of like that they did acknowledge that, you know, it was a difficult thing for, you know, people who were coming back. And apparently they made them start school over, which is bullshit.
They made them start the year over after everybody blipped back into
No! That is
Even
not
though they
cool.
already took midterms, those bastards.
Assholes! The school board are the real villains.
I would have been so pissed.
Oh, yeah. I would. You wouldn't be the only one.
Yeah.
But anyway, Peter's class is going on a field trip to Europe, and it just so happens that there's a threat where they were gonna, like, these elemental monsters showed up from another dimension,
Yep.
and Mysterio was there, and he was the big hero.
Yep, Quentin Beck.
Yeah.
From a hero from an alternate dimension.
Supposedly. I like that they referenced, you're from Earth whatever, and I'm from Earth whatever.
Yeah, I think he said he was from Earth 61... I think he said Earth 613. I don't remember.
Yeah,
my short-term memory sucks.
I gotta look and see, like, I bet that's a reference, because
like from Earth 816.
They talk about that, and, you know, that's in the comics, like, this is Earth whatever, this
right.
is Earth whatever. So I'm sure that had some strong connections. So yeah, Peter's being called upon by Nick Fury, but Peter's still kind of having trouble adjusting after, you know, Endgame happened and Tony Stark died, and he feels like he lived in his shadow, but Tony, you know, wanted him to be, you know,
the shoes are too big to fill.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So he was having trouble with that, but meanwhile, all this crazy stuff was going on. Also, there was a lot of, like, awkward teenage stuff in this. Oh. I'll give them credit. Like, this movie was very lighthearted.
For the most part,
yeah,
yes.
At least for, like, the first half. And I think that was the best route to take, considering how, you know, Endgame happened. So yeah, I think we should just cut to the chase here. Mysterio's a fucking liar.
Yeah, all the elementals were illusions, and the whole thing was a ruse to get. What happened was Tony posthumously gave Peter a pair of glasses known as Edith, which gave him control over, like, all these drones that are housed in a satellite and all this other stuff. So the whole thing at the beginning, like, oh, they destroyed my world and blah blah blah. That was just to get the glasses.
My world and my family.
Yeah, oh god.
I won't let this happen.
He laid that on thick,
but
I gotta give Gyllenhaal credit.
Yeah, he was very convincing.
Yes.
Unfortunately, those of us that are in the know knew that he was full of shit.
Oh, of course. Mysterio is one of the... He's one of the Sinister Six.
Yeah, exactly. He
along with the Vulture.
Yeah, well, we might get to that in a second. Yeah. So he's basically a... in the comics, I forget exactly how his powers worked. I know wasn't he like a magician or something?
Yeah, he was. He was an illusionist.
Yeah, and that's, you know, that was his whole thing. But Mysterio is, like, notorious for, you know, faking out whole events.
Oh, of course.
Didn't Old Man Logan happen because of him, or something like that?
I don't remember.
He had some kind of connection with it, and I don't remember. Comics are complicated. Well, all you need to know is...
I'm second guessing myself in the whole Sinister Six thing.
All you need to know is Mysterio was a liar, and we all knew he was a liar because we knew him from the comics.
Yeah.
What I did find funny is that there was a guy sitting next to us when the big reveal happened. He was like, "No!"
Like, genuinely or sarcastically?
Like, genuinely, like he did not see it coming. Bro, do you even comic book?
I know, right?
So, yeah, I thought that was... I almost busted out laughing. Basically, in this movie, Mysterio is... he's like a disgruntled former Stark employee.
Okay, I was
Stark Industry employee. And he wanted, you know... Like, Tony took his idea for... Like there was
remember those augmented reality glasses from Civil War?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Mysterio's.
Yeah, he invented that.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of callbacks to,
he named it Barf! I love that.
There was a lot of callbacks to, like, other like
to the first Iron Man.
Yeah, incidental like the one guy that friggin' Jeff Bridges yelled at and he said the famous line,
"Tony Stark built this in a cave with a box of scrap." Yeah, he was one.
That guy was...
He was helping Mysterio.
What the hell?
I'm like, oh my god.
So it's basically there are a bunch of disgruntled Stark Industry employees that want their fair due, and that's why they orchestrated this whole thing.
Yeah.
And Mysterio wanted to create this persona.
All the unpaid, disgruntled Stark interns came back for revenge.
Dude, that's a movie.
I know, right?
Disgruntled interns. So he wanted to create this illusion where it's like he's the new big thing, like he can take out Avengers size.
Yeah, we don't need the Avengers anymore. You have me. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, but it's all drones
all
and illusions and.
As Ren and Stimpy would say, it's stew meat and puppets.
I gotta say the illusion scenes when he faced Peter.
Yes.
Were really cool.
Those were trippy as hell.
Yeah.
Like I remember I leaned over to him during the middle of those. I'm just like, I feel like we should have seen this in 3D.
Yeah.
It was on par with the Doctor Strange stuff.
Yeah, it must have been a trip in 3D.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. So so he befriends Peter, and Peter's still second guessing himself, and Peter decides to give him the glasses
because he feels he would be a better successor than himself.
Yeah.
Of course, not realizing
without realizing who he really
Quentin
is.
Quentin was playing him the entire time.
So yeah, the whole thing was just like a mad trip around Europe to take out the elementals, and then eventually he has to stop him.
Yeah.
All the while, he was not in the right mindset because he was on a trip and he's trying to get close to MJ. And it's not going so well, and it's the the typical thing with Spider-Man. It's like you have your friends and your responsibilities, but you're also Spider-Man, and it's like trying to juggle the whole thing. They played it out pretty well in this. I'm growing to like MJ a lot more.
Well, yeah.
I liked her at first. I didn't. I had a hard time like accepting her as a replacement for Mary Jane, like the actual Mary Jane.
Oh yeah.
Because that character is so iconic.
Mm.
And here they kind of this is a completely different character. And her name's not Mary Jane, right? It was something else.
I don't know what her name was. I don't remember. It's been a while since I watched Homecoming. I don't know if they ever even revealed it.
They did, but then I remember at the very end she was like, people call me MJ, and I was like, no, you're not MJ.
Nah, you know what? It's the MCU. It's a completely different universe from the comics. So
yeah.
I'm willing to suspend everything and accept.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'll take it.
It's fine though. I like her. I think she's great.
Yeah, but I think that's one of the brilliant things about this is the fact that they list it as a separate universe, so all the neckbeards can't go, this is not the comic. This is not how it's supposed to go. All that shit.
They're still gonna.
Oh, of course they
are. Anyway, so they have the big thing with Mysterio at the end and blah blah blah. I think we need to get just cut ahead, to the really important parts that happened at the very end. So,
yes.
So
this movie made me very happy.
So cut to the end of the movie. I know we skipped over a lot, but it's pretty typical. It's Peter growing and finally accepting
through the illusion, getting a new Spider-Man suit and beating the shit out of Quentin.
Kind of accepting his role as the new Tony Stark, sort of. There was a whole scene where he was building a new suit and he was starting to act like Tony. And I like that Happy kind of looked over at him and was like, yeah.
I love Led Zeppelin. That fucking cracked me up.
Oh, Peter. Anyway, so the end of the movie. At the end of the movie, he goes on a date with MJ
as
Spider-Man, and
she totally figured it out.
Yeah, of course she did.
Yeah,
it's pretty. Who didn't figure it out?
I know.
Except Flash.
Yeah, and that other kid. The one who took a picture of him in the bathroom.
Oh yeah, screw that guy. Such a Chad.
Flash 2.
Can I just say again, as hard it is to accept new MJ, it's even harder to accept new Flash Thompson because he is way different than the comics.
Yeah.
This again.
He's not a jock.
No, he is a total poser. He's just a social media whore, and he's not. First of all, the name Flash Thompson, that is a football player name.
Nah.
That is not some dweeb on YouTube. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work. I mean, it's hilarious, especially seeing his poser side get exposed.
Yeah.
But still, Anyway,
getting nut checked while taking a selfie.
Yeah. So good. Anyway, so at the end of the movie, Peter as Spider-Man goes on a date with MJ. They do the whole thing where she's holding on to him while he's swinging.
Yeah.
And so he lands, and she's like, "Let's never do that again."
Yeah.
she was terrified,
yeah, freaking out.
Yeah.
She had to pry herself off of him because she was just.
So then he was about to leave when suddenly a news broadcast came on a big screen in the middle of the street, and it was a video submitted by Mysterio because we
moments
thought
before his death.
Yeah, well, supposed death. We don't know at this point.
Yeah, that's true. I think he's still alive.
Yeah, it would seem that way. I mean, if we're talking about him, it's a strong possibility. So basically, he framed Spider-Man for a lot of people's deaths, and then.
Yeah.
and then
who leaked the video? The Daily Bugle.
Of course. Guess who it was? It was J. Jonah Jameson. It was played by J.K. Simmons.
Because
yes.
Yes, I cheered so loud.
Yes. Yes. Nobody
else.
played
Nobody
J.K.
else could play Jameson.
Nobody. There have been a lot of good Jamesons. Ed Asner was really good in the cartoon.
Yes.
But J.K. Simmons
is far and away the best.
Nailed it. In the Raimi movies, friggin' nailed it.
Yep.
It was the one biggest thing everyone was talking about. It was like
I was so happy.
He belongs up there with Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
Yes.
And just Ron Perlman as Hellboy.
Yes.
Perfect. Absolute perfection.
Nailed it. Carl Urban as Judge Dredd. Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Oh, so good. So, yeah, anyway, they leaked the whole thing, and, everyone not only thinks that Spider-Man killed a bunch of people, but Mysterio exposed his secret identity.
Yep, the last shot is him saying, Spider-Man is Peter Parker.
And then they showed a picture of him. I did not see that coming.
No, nobody did.
The part about him being, public menace, that's a whole thing in the comics.
Yeah.
That's been a staple of Spider-Man in every form.
Who's a Spider-Man? He's a menace.
Yeah. So, but then they exposed his identity. And then that's when the credits rolled.
Yeah, and Peter just the eyes on the suit going wide. He's like, oh my God! And it just ends.
And so, who knows where that's going to go. But then, after the credits, there is another scene.
Yeah.
So
Maria Hill and Fury are driving together.
Yep.
Only it's not Fury and Maria Hill. They're Skrulls.
They're Skrulls. And that's when I was like, oh God, are they actually going to do the Skrull thing? But no, it's the Skrulls from the Captain Marvel movie.
Yep.
Apparently they were covering for Fury and Maria.
Yeah, they were doing them a favor, who are actually with the Skrulls in space right now.
Yeah. Doing who knows what.
Yeah.
So that will probably lead into something. Most likely, maybe Guardians 3.
Maybe.
Or at least tie in with it. Maybe another Captain Marvel movie.
Who knows? But just in summation...
I know they do want to do more stuff with the cosmic end of Marvel, which is great because I love that shit.
Yeah. But in summation, Marvel's still got plenty of tricks in the bag.
Oh, yes. Especially...
They weren't done with Endgame. Well,
I mean... especially now that they have access to more characters.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they have Fantastic Four now. There's a big theory going around that the Fantastic Four are going to move into Old Avengers Tower.
Oh,
and
wow.
that's going to be the Baxter Building.
That's going to be the Baxter Building. Wow.
I feel like that would work out. That feels appropriate.
So, you know what? It makes sense. Because I see how that goes. Because instead of the A there, they turn it into a giant four.
Yeah.
They don't even bother replacing. It's just like, we don't have the funds for that. Just paint over it. Make it look like a number 4.
Turn it sideways. It kind of looks like a 4.
Exactly.
As far as the mutants go, I have friggin' no idea how they're going to do that. That's where I was hoping, the part where he was from another dimension would come into play.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that would be the best way to ease things in. Like we have 2 Earths that are kind of merging, and there's going to be new people. The one of the theories I've heard was, and I haven't really dug deep into this, but one thing I heard is that Wanda is going to create the mutants somehow.
Maximoff?
Yeah. Like using her reality bending powers somehow. And it's like, maybe, but why?
I don't
I don't know.
Considering who they're the children of, who she's the daughter of.
Yeah.
Her and her brother, Piotr.
Yeah. Other Quicksilver.
Yes, other
MCU Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that.
Yeah, it's really confusing.
Spider-Man: Far From Home was very solid.
Yes, I enjoyed the hell out of it.
It was very lighthearted.
Yeah.
It was a great character development for Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And it set up.
Gyllenhaal was good, and he definitely was a good job. Not as intimidating as the Vulture, though.
No. Which an interesting thing you brought that up because you mentioned
Keaton as the Vulture was scary as fuck.
You mentioned Sinister Six.
Yes.
You said they were both members of the Sinister Six.
I just double checked that actually because I was second guessing myself.
If Mysterio is still alive, that might be where they go with Spider-Man.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because who else would they need? They need Shocker.
They need Electro.
Yeah, Electro. I keep getting him and Shocker confused. Yeah. Doc Ock.
Doc Ock, definitely.
And who else was a member? Was Goblin a member?
I don't know if it was Green Goblin or Hobgoblin. I don't know if he was.
Well, it seems like they are setting up a lot more for Spider-Man because again, in the first movie, Vulture's still around. They established Shocker and Scorpion.
Be Rhino.
No, Rhino's not.
Rhino's not a member. He's too
but
dumb.
they established Shocker and Scorpion.
Yeah, Scorpion.
Yes, well, he might have been a member. I don't remember. It's been so long. God damn
Scorpion's been so many things. I mean, hell, Gargan was a Venom symbiote host at one point.
Ugh.
I think he was the third one to carry the Venom symbiote after Brock and I forget that mafioso son's name. The one where the symbiote kind of ditched him mid web swing and killed him. Just like, yeah, you're gonna do.
Wow, I didn't know about that.
Forget his name.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, I feel like they're probably setting up that for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I bet the way this is gonna work, and here's my prediction: they're gonna turn a lot of people against Spider-Man. Then they're gonna try, if Mysterio's still around, they'll contact him, and then they'll probably get a hold of Vulture, and then they'll probably recruit them to try and take Spider-Man out.
Yep.
So we'll see.
It'll be interesting, but I'm looking forward to the future.
Yeah.
Here's to another 10 years.
I'm
telling you, we're gonna be 60 years old, looking like Statler and Waldorf. It's like, well, that third phase wasn't all that great.
Anyway, here's a question though: what's the next Marvel movie?
I have no idea.
Because I was wondering that.
Actually, it would be Guardians 3, wouldn't it?
Leading up to this, they started because they stopped production with Guardians for a while.
Yeah.
Because of reasons, and then they started up again, and I don't know what. Because I'm trying to think what movies are confirmed. I know we're getting Guardians 3. Mm-hmm. I think Black Panther 2 was confirmed.
I think so too. Yeah, you're right.
They're still doing the Black Widow movie, even though that's a prequel.
I don't know if they are.
I don't know. And what else?
I really don't know. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, I'll probably have to. I'm sure there's a listing for it.
But again, like I said, Marvel still got tricks in the bag.
Yeah.
I was very pleasantly surprised with this one.
I was too. I think a lot of people were disappointed because they probably wanted the whole alternate reality thing to be a thing so that they can maybe tie it in with Spider-Verse or the other movies.
Maybe. That was a rumor, wasn't it, that it was going to tie in with Spider-Verse?
That was a rumor.
I mean, we did see the Sony logo at the beginning, so I thought they were going to go with that.
I do know that I think Tom Holland said that he wants to do a Spider-Man sort of Spider-Verse movie with James Garfield and Tobey Maguire. Like sort of.
I can kind of see that.
Yeah. I think too much time has passed, unfortunately.
I think so too.
That would have been
Toby plays like a middle-aged Spider-Man at this point.
He could be Peter B. Parker.
Oh God.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah.
But anyway,
at least the Spider-Man movies that have come out have been actually solid.
Yeah.
They haven't tried to just redo his origin story for the 15th fucking time.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So I think we were about done here. So you have anything else you want to say about this movie?
Other than go see this movie and...
Yeah. Yeah, go see it.
Yeah.
Don't be that guy in the audience that gets surprised when it turns out Mysterio is lying. That was so
That was
funny.
a foregone conclusion.
That was the funniest part of this movie for me.
Yeah.
And this movie was pretty funny.
Yes.
All right, I think we're done.
Yeah, I'm done.
So, yeah, Spider-Man Far From Home was good.
Yes.
So, check it out.
Later.
Later.